From the creators who brought you RuPaul's Drag Race and Million Dollar Listing, this is World of Wonders Wow Report. Things that make us go wow.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another scintillating edition of the Wow Report, where we count down the top 10 things of the week that make us go wow! And those are the sweet, dulcet voices of James St. James, our resident former, no, not antique, veteran, club kid.
Oh, yeah, okay, here we go. Okay.
James, it is lovely to be back. I suppose I should say I'm Fenton Bailey, and I'm in charge this week, notionally, I think. But James St. James, welcome.
Thank you, darling. And I must say that if for those of you who are not watching but are listening, that Tom Campbell, who is next to me, looks like he has the Star of Bethlehem guiding him. If you look behind, did you lean down? There you go. We're coming up to Christmas a little early here on the Wow Report.
It's a gorgeous, radiant, one might say divine light.
Yes.
And of course, Tom Campbell, yes, here's your introduction. There it is.
Oh, I guess I could come a little 5 minutes later to the show next week and just for my introduction. Yeah, it's a hostile environment today, this weekend. Actually, this was the best week ever. So many cool things happened, so much to talk about.
Exactly. Let's get on with it. Let's start at number 10. It will be you, Tom.
Number 10.
All's Fair, the new Ryan Murphy show.
Wait a minute. I didn't know we were going to be talking about it because I just watched it about an hour ago. Oh, my God. What do you have to say about it?
Now, I don't want to bash anybody. Everyone's trying, I think, maybe not Ryan Murphy, but everybody else is trying to make good TV. But once in a blue moon, once in a lifetime, a show comes out that gets the worst reviews of all time. Right. That the reviews, I'll give you my review quickly, because it's the closest thing I can imagine to AI. What are these like short stories, or what are those called? Those things, the things that people put together overnight.
Slop?
Well, AI slop, but there's also those little mini soap operas. What are they called?
Microdramas.
It's like a long microdrama where it doesn't make any sense. Like so it's gotten 0-star ratings from two different newspapers.
Rotten Tomatoes gave it 0. Yeah, 0.
Yes. It is, it was the most watched trailer in television history. They have trotted those women, an impressive group of women, around the world for premieres, like it's like Gunga Din or something. And we don't have the numbers yet, but it's gotten so panned that I feel that I need to lean into some of the criticisms, and then you can please give me your thoughts. But I think The Guardian started off by saying, I did not know it was still possible to make television this bad. I assumed that there was some sort of baseline, some inescapable bedrock, knowledge of how to do it now that prevents any entry into the art form falling below a certain standard. But I was wrong. The new series from Ryan Murphy, All's Fair, starring you-know-who, Naomi Watts, Niecy Nash, Kim Kardashian, as the founders of an all-female law firm delivering divorcee justice to incredibly rich but slightly unlucky woman under the azure skies of California, is terrible. Fascinatingly, incomprehensibly, existentially terrible. While I try to get my thoughts in order after bearing witness to the first episode, I'm going to give you a few direct quotes so you can see why I'm struggling. Let's put the team in teamwork. My flight was turbulent, and so is my mood. He's wolf-like in his possessiveness. Anyway, I have many more.
Possessiveness? Was that?
Yes, he's wolf-like in his possessiveness. James, you just saw it?
I was able to get through 15, maybe 20 minutes before I couldn't do it anymore. All the women, I have a soft spot for all of them. I just do. I did see someone saying that there goes Teyana Taylor's Oscar chances. It just
I thought the same thing.
Yeah, because she has so much goodwill going in to the Oscar race, and this just destroys everything.
I'll say one thing I did kind of enjoy about it was the nip tuck of it, like how it had like well, James, you may not have noticed because you only watched 15 minutes, but there's 3 episodes out, and it kind of has a through line through it, but it also is like every episode has a like mini.
It's a procedural. It has 3 cases come in a week that, by the way, are identical with one another. It's all about.
I was going to say, wait, did you watch all 3 of them, Tom?
I watched 1.5.
Okay.
Enough to know, and I've read a lot about it because it's such good reading.
But Blake, you watched all 3? You are for punishment.
Well, I know. It's so bad. And I was going to say it's so bad it's good, but it's not. It's just so bad. But it's like a train wreck. You can't take your eyes off of it.
But it has this eerie AI soullessness to it.
Because Kim's, her outfits are ridiculous.
All I could think about was how many hours did it take to get Kim's hair and makeup like that before she shot like a 3-minute scene, where she's walking into her house or something. Some people say that it's like Selling Sunset, which was the real estate show where people just get dressed up and get makeup and don't sell real estate, that this is sort of the legal version of that because they are just in so many clothes. I've read a few more quotes. Someone said that the bad guys are characters I hesitate to call cardboard because I'm reluctant to insult a very useful packing material. Papier-mâché would be better. So that's ridiculous. And then All's Fair demonstrates such a low opinion of its own viewers, assuming we'll bark like seals when fed disconnected scraps of sassy one-liners. And men ain't shit, commiseration. But I got to tell you, if you want that kind of television, watch an acting challenge on RuPaul's Drag Race. We've been doing them for years. I commiserate.
I do love, though, when something happens and the reviews are just brilliant. That's the work of art.
I was just going to say, I think the reviewers should be writing the show.
It's so bad. And then this is the last one I'll read. But beyond the embarrassment of the script, there is the embarrassment of the performances. Although I take the point that when someone, in this case, Murphy stalwart Sarah Paulson as psychopathic rival lady lawyer Carrington is required to scream, "Are you calling me an ugly duckling? So what if I give myself home perms? It's economical," while smashing up her mentor's office, Glenn Close. It's hard to be a good actress when given lines like that.
He's known for, hit after hit after hit after hit. So how could this factory turn out this thing?
Is he known for quality hit after hit after hit, though? We've been railing against Ryan Murphy for 10 years on this show. So I don't know where all of a sudden...
There is no saying that this will not be qualified as a hit. It may get the most streams of any... We don't know yet. It's too early, but it is panned. And it kind of does, when you watch those stupid soap opera things I can't remember. When you watch AI content, it's like you think like, oh, am I just so old that I need like a point of view? I need this to come from somebody's point of view. But no, this is like soulless, doe-eyed, everything's symmetrical. All their offices look like wombs and vaginas. Everything's round and they enter through hallways that look like birth canals. It's nuts. Anyway, watch it if you must. Read every review you can get your fingers on online because it's the catalyst for great critical writing.
I went to watch it and of course realized, totally forgotten, I canceled my Disney Hulu subscription in a fit of pique over the Jimmy Kimmel thing. So I was like entering passwords thinking, what is wrong? Finally realizing, I canceled my subscription.
So did you re-enter or no?
Well, I will have to, won't I? Really? Yeah. So it could be, the whole thing could be a coup de food, right? Yes. Could all pay off brilliantly for them.
Exactly.
All right, then, James, number 9.
Number 9.
Marjorie Taylor Greene was on The View this week, and it was like watching a TV show from a parallel dimension. It was absolutely bonkers. She was soft-spoken, frequently funny. I'll be damned if she didn't make a lot of sense. It's like, who are you and what have you done with MTG? It was absolutely... It was very shocking. She spoke out against the shutdown. She spoke out against ending Snap, against Speaker Johnson, and for releasing the Epstein files. She spoke eloquently about her constituents and the needs that they have. It got contentious for a hot second when Joy asked her about the Jewish space lasers. And they immediately cut to commercial. And when they came back, they were all happy and sweet and lovey-dovey again. It just made me think, number one, is Marjorie acting normal to keep her seat, or is she running for president or something like that? Number two, does she see the writing on the wall that MAGA is maybe going down, and she's jumping on that bandwagon? Tom?
That's what everybody is. I'm reading a lot of that. Then now that the blue wave has come this week, spoiler alert, that a lot more people will be distancing themselves.
Yeah, that they will be distancing themselves. Or has she been normal all along, and the whole crazy pants thing was just an act to get attention by MAGA? Or and the other big takeaway for me was The View has been leaning into both siding it lately. I think that note came from on high. And do we want more crazy pants Republicans on the show? It does sort of. It's interesting that they were able to make nice, and they they all said, you aren't what we thought you were, and we're actually having a lovely discussion. So it I guess it behooves The View to do that, but it does sort of seem like they're kind of selling out a little bit.
With Joy there and Whoopi there, I feel like there are people that are willing to take people on. You know what I'm saying? To not meanly, but they're not going to back down.
No. Whoopi does not take anybody on. You're wrong about that. Sunny takes people on. Whoopi will bow down to any celebrity ever. She does not. She is the one who keeps everything in control.
I think she listens, though. I think Sunny can come off a little caustic, but she has a strong point of view. She's necessary in the show. But Whoopi, I feel like listens, and I think she listens, and she lets people say what they're going to say. And she does have a point of view that she doesn't falter from, but she's not necessarily attacking people. I know, whatever.
And wasn't there a moment where someone ran a note out to Whoopi to retract something, and
she ripped it up? Legal brought out, a PA brought out a piece of paper to Whoopi, said from the legal department, read this, and we'll find out what it's about. And then Whoopi took it, ripped it up, tore it off. They went to the commercial. They came back, and Sunny through her ear, had to communicate the same note.
Well, but that's what Sunny's job is on the show. She is the legal eagle, and so she's always reading out the notes.
She's the mouthpiece of whatever standards and practices is in her ear.
Anyway, it was fascinating television, and I walked away thinking, you know what? I don't hate Marjorie Taylor Greene like I thought I would.
I think that's a good thing, and I think we just need to back away from you know who, and so that people from his camp are finally seeing the light is not a horrible thing. But do we all? But
what if she is gaslighting us so that she can get into a bigger position of power, and then she reverts right back to form? Everything is a day at a time right now. We're just surviving every day. And it was a good day and it was a good week. And I may have been totally wrong about the Whoopi story. And I just want to go on record as saying, I don't know. wait, what? Yeah, right. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
All right. Someone is handing Tom a note.
Yes.
All right, well, let's go on. Number 8. The Last Republican. It's a documentary. You can get it on Apple Plus. I think you have to rent it or buy it. It is made by Steve Pink, who is perhaps more famous for making Hot Tub Time Machine.
Oh, okay.
But this documentary, The Last Republican, is about the Illinois Senator Adam Kinzinger.
Yep.
Right? Yep. And Adam Kinzinger
is cute as a button.
Was one of the few Republicans to speak out after January 6th and denounce what happened. Of course, McCarthy spoke out and McConnell spoke out, but they changed their minds very quickly. And Adam Kinzinger did not. And as a result, he ended up serving on a committee, on the committee investigating January 6th. He was censured by the Republican Party. He actually had already decided not to run again after the election, so it wasn't like he lost his seat, but, he was out of there. But, oh my gosh, what a fascinating documentary. And it begins with Adam Kinzinger challenging Steve Pink, the director of the thing, saying, don't you despise my views? Because it's like, Steve Pink's like, why would you agree to let me, a Democrat, or as Adam Kinzinger calls him, a communist, make a documentary about me, the last Republican? But as a result, these two people, both from Illinois, Adam Kinzinger gives his decision, and he says, well, the reason is I personally think that Hot Tub Time Machine is a cinematic masterpiece. And that's the reason Adam Kinzinger chose Steve Pink to agree to let him make this documentary. And you know what? It's a great documentary because at a time when it seems that the Republican Party are completely silent about every kind of corruption and crime that is going on.
Or say, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know.
I've just heard about this. So I pardon someone. I don't know who they are, or like, et cetera, et cetera. He had a backbone and effectively sacrificed his political career for what he felt was right. And he's a fascinating guy.
He has managed to make himself a talking head, and I think he does quite well financially because of that on CNN.
Okay. Yes, of course. Well, that just goes to show that when you stand up for the truth in the long term, it's worth doing that. Rather than being a whore. Nothing wrong with being a whore, by the way, but rather than being ideologically weak-willed. Anyway, 2006, he came across a young woman who was sort of bleeding by the throat, being attacked by her boyfriend who had a knife and was stabbing her. I mean, she was going to die. And he was like, I had two thoughts. The first one, if I intervene, I'm going to die. But if I don't, and I watch this lady die, I won't be able to live with myself. And he went into the fight and basically saved her life, and he didn't end up dying. But I suppose...
Was he stabbed? Was he in mortal danger?
I don't know how badly he was hurt, but...
So that's a metaphor for what politicians put themselves at risk now if they tell the truth. Is that correct?
I think it is a metaphor, Tom. Thank you very much for joining the dots there. Yes. I just think that the whole story of the select committee, I guess it was, is absolutely fascinating. I mean, what an epic undertaking it was, like 1,000 witnesses, tens of thousands of interviews, and ultimately you could say a Pyrrhic victory, or actually not even a victory. What a sort of, not failed mission, but do you know what I mean? It didn't really... I just think it's a fascinating period in history that will be revisited. And his role in it, he absolutely did not want to serve on that committee. He was like, please don't pick me, please don't pick me. But then, of course, he did. And he says many things. He says, oaths matter, character matters, truth matters. It's a great documentary, and I think it's great that it's actually made by two people that are sort of ideologically opposed to one another, because out of it comes the very sort of dialogue, I suppose, that everybody says we should be having.
There is an appetite for truth and straight talking right now, a huge appetite for it.
Yeah. At one point, someone says how courageous he was to have chosen that path. And he says the most brilliant thing. He says, it only looks like courage because I'm surrounded by cowards. And
wow, there you go. Yeah. Put needlepoint that on a pillow.
I will. I'm going to go do it right now while we take a break.
You're listening to World of Wonders Wow Report. Things that make us go wow.
And welcome back to the Wow Report. I'm Fenton here with Tom and James and Blake. We're counting down the top 10 things of the week that made us go, wow. We've reached number 7.
Number 7.
Okay, I trashed All's Fair. I'm sorry. It's against my rules, but I did. But I got to tell you, I have a new favorite series. It's on HBO Sunday nights, one episode out. They give them one a week, so you know it's good. You know it's good when they give it one a week. And it's I Love L.A., written, directed, starring Rachel Sennott. You know who Rachel is?
Sure.
that movie Bottoms that she was so brilliant in. She was in the Saturday Night Live movie. She works out at the same private gym I do. I almost see her like twice a week. And she kind of knows who I am, even though she doesn't really know my name. She's been through me through my 30-pound weight loss and beard growth. It's I Love LA is the next Sex and the City, is the next Girls. It's set in modern time. It's set in Echo Park. Rachel Sennott is 27. She moved from New York a few years ago. And in her mind, and in every 27-year-old mind, she's an incredible failure. All her friends seem happier. She does have a boyfriend in Josh Hutcherson. Very cute.
I love Josh.
Fun.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Her gay best friend is Jordan Firstman, who you do know. He was on Search Party, and he was also Brian Jordan Alvarez's off again boyfriend on The English Teacher, the crazy gay guy. And also running out the cast is a Nepo baby playing a Nepo baby. True Whitaker, Forrest Whitaker's daughter, is part of the ensemble. And then there's Odessa Azion. She's new to me. If I'm mispronouncing her name, I'm sorry. She plays Tallulah, who is like a social media star who Rachel was friends with in school, and now she's more famous. And there's just all that jealousy and all that, like, will I make it? And it's the first show I've seen that did a montage of LA to I Love LA, which they did, that included Erewhon bottles going down the aisle, Erewhon juice bottles. So I felt it's very finger on the pulse. It's very now. It's a little arch in the first part of the half hour pilot. Pilots are very hard to pull off, but it really, in a very comforting way, it breaks through and everything changes, and all the characters are on a new sort of starting point at the end of the pilot. And I can't wait to see what happens. I love coming to Hollywood stories. I love young woman stories. I love ensembles. They say, like, the gay best friend, Jordan Firstman, they say, I've just read about it, but that they're going to break the trope and dissect the trope of the gay best friend and do it differently. And someone else pointed out that—
I do want to say that Blake, who is much more plugged in than all of us, as he
plugged in.
He says that he has seen all of season 1. He says he loves it. So,
yay. So I look forward to it. I think when they put all the episodes out at once for different reasons, but usually it means that you have to see the whole thing because you're not going to like it if you don't. And when they put them out one at a time, I feel like they're like, ooh, we have something good here. We have some good hors d'oeuvres. We're going to take them out of the kitchen one at a time.
So the title sequence is edited to I Love LA.
No, there was a let's go to the beach. No, let's not go to the beach. It's too far. Let's go to the beach. And that was this crazy one-day adventure that was montaged, including going to Erewhon and getting juices and it's just I'm not doing it justice as always, but it's I think it's super fun. And again, Rachel's a close friend of mine because we work out on Mondays and Fridays. So I had to say something.
Oh.
And you're both bottoms.
Correct.
Number 6.
Number 6.
Prince no more. Prince Andrew has formally been stripped of his prince title by the king, and he is now to be referred to as Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. This comes on the heel of more damaging information that came out from the Virginia Giuffre autobiography detailing the sexual abuse that she endured at his hands. Now, The Onion had a very dark, very funny take on this. They have an article entitled "Soot-Covered Prince Andrew Begging on Street for Child to Molest." And it says, if you're quick to offense, turn the volume down now because I'm going to read it to you. It says, shivering and rubbing his hands together as he attempted to stay warm, a soot-covered Prince Andrew was spotted Tuesday on a street in the Whitechapel district of London begging for a child to molest. Please, sir, may I have a girl, a small one? Surely you have some to spare, said the disgraced ex-Duke of York, who coughed feverishly as disgusted passers-by rushed between bakery shops and haberdasheries, wrenching their coat sleeves away from his filthy, fingerless, gloved hands.
Oy.
Please, may I have a child to molest?
I have a question, though, in terms of the timeline. I thought he'd been stripped of his title a while ago.
He was stripped of the Duke. He was stripped of his dukedom and of the house, the lodge that he was living in. And then this week is when the king stripped him of his prince title and renamed him Andrew Mountbatten Windsor.
Well, and also, like, everyone's like talking about Fergie again, like that they live together, and haven't they been divorced for years?
No, but they live together. They live together. They were co-raising the children together, and then she stayed on at the Royal Lodge where they lived. Now he's moved.
Modern family.
They moved him to Sandringham, which is quite a downgrade, apparently.
When we were shooting Drag Race UK, we stay in Windsor, right by the castle. And you go on that long, walkway, and then take a left on a way to a place where we'd have Sunday roast, and you'd walk right by his sprawling compound, which is no longer his.
Yeah, no longer his. I do want to just sort of point out that it's fascinating that the royal family has done more against Jeffrey Epstein than the President Trump or any American has done. So
does it give you a little bit of hope about things being
because it seems that everybody, as the Republicans double down, as we know that Mike Johnson isn't opening the Senate, or they're keeping the shutdown because of the Epstein files, because the woman who from Arizona will be the tiebreaker. So they aren't doing anything. So Americans are doubling down on protecting the pedos, and while the king is doing something about it, which is interesting to me.
And
Fenton,
Virginia,
you have a very confused look on your face.
I'm not really confused.
Okay, you've got to articulate this.
I know. I have to get something out, but I don't quite know. Like it feels somewhat after the fact, and like what?
I think they're saying that the timeline. Some new revelations have revealed.
Yes, Virginia's biography has come out, and since the week before is when they stripped him of the Duke title, and now that the book is out, is now that they realize that they must go even further and strip him of his prince title.
And he had been actively.
So they are reacting to this book, whereas nobody in America is even acknowledging that the book exists.
And God bless Virginia Guffrey, I think is how you say her name, who did take her own life. Who her family is getting some tiny bits of solace from the fact that this is actually happening to him, and they're getting some kind of consequence.
Yeah,
you are absolutely right that the book hasn't received any real publicity. Here. And
maybe we have to read it.
I was just thinking that's what I'm going to do. Go read it.
Yeah.
Moving on to number 5.
Number 5.
I suppose my mind has been sort of kidnapped by aliens or something. Like the 3-Eye Atlas thing has been on my mind a lot. I'm not going to talk about it. But there is a new documentary that is coming out called The Age of Disclosure. And The Age of Disclosure documents, quote, an 80-year global cover-up of non-human intelligent life and a secret war among major nations to reverse engineer advanced technology of non-human origin. And it features, and this is the interesting thing about the documentary, which is actually on its face quite a dry collection of talking heads. The documentary features testimony from 34 members of the US government, military, and intelligence community. So it's not pundits like me just banging on about things that are vaguely interesting or that we saw on Instagram. This is the official people in the government and the military and the intelligence community who talk quite openly in this film about, and in sufficient large numbers to suggest that they're actually, well, they don't call them UFOs anymore. They've been sort of renamed UAPs. But there does seem to be a sort of an extraordinary amount of activity. In fact, I think something like, checks notes, 366 sightings since 2021. It just seems a very busy time for UFOs and sightings. And they're sort of finally, I guess, taking it seriously. And that's why the documentary is called The Age of Disclosure, because they had some hearings last year or a couple of years ago. And I think the outcome of that was the attempt to force a bill that would force anybody who found technology to, that it would be owned by the US government. The bill did not pass into law, and they're still, in fact, trying to pass it. But I do recommend it. I mean, it's a very sober documentary. It's not, I think so many times when you look at this subject, it's from a sort of slightly conspiratorial, slightly mad point of view, but it really does seem to just fascinating amount of evidence.
Just sounds like more traffic. It sounds like LA, more traffic every year.
And where can we watch this?
That is a very good question.
He watched it on his microwave oven. with his tinfoil cap on. The message.
Yeah.
No, Theron AI slopped it and he watched it.
Oh my gosh, you guys. It's coming out on Prime Video very soon. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I have a question for you guys.
Good. Thank you.
1993 was a great year. It was the only year People magazine named a sexiest couple alive rather than the sexiest man alive. Who were they?
All right, we'll have the answer right here on the Wow Report after the break.
You're listening to World of Wonders Wow Report. Things that make us go wow.
And welcome back to the Wow Report. I'm Fenton here with Blake and Tom and James. James, I feel, you did such a great job last week. I feel you should be put back in charge.
Somebody's got to keep this sinking ship. I'll tell you.
I'm finding it hard to get back in the saddle. I feel you've cursed my spot or something.
If you check my contract, when Fenton's gone, I'm supposed to be the host.
I'm just always the bridesmaid, but I do have a question.
Yes.
1993 is the only year People magazine named a sexiest couple alive instead of the sexiest man alive. Who was it?
This is just from my mind, and I don't know it for a fact, but I feel like it must be Richard Gere and Cindy Crawford.
Oh, that's funny because I was
right.
going to say Cindy Crawford and Randy Gerber because I do remember Cindy, but I had forgotten that it was Richard. Yeah.
You don't remember her and Lyle Lovett?
That was Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, it was Cindy Roberts. It was
Cindy Roberts and yeah, okay.
Yeah, and yeah,
Oh.
Now, this was the only time the magazine gave the title to a couple, the annual Sexiest Man Alive. It began in 85 and continued every year, but they're in 94, the year after the Sexiest Couple, they didn't have one, but they retroactively gave it to Keanu Reeves.
Well, I think Keanu could get it in 2025 too.
Keanu could get it, yeah.
Yeah, anytime.
Let's carry on with the countdown. Number 4.
Number 4.
Well, speaking of Sexiest Man Alive, the best news ever, Jonathan Bailey was named by People magazine the official Sexiest Man Alive. This is the first time an openly gay man, because Cindy Crawford was the first openly gay man was named. It was a joke. Was named Sexiest Man Alive. Usually at this time of the year, we are listing all of the gay men it could be. We're like, that person's fine, but what about this person? What about this person? But we finally got it. And there's somebody named Feisty Frank who's got a check on Instagram. But he said the first openly gay People's Sexiest Man Alive being Jonathan Bailey feels so correct.
Yeah.
No discourse required. No notes needed. Just hotness, charisma, and slutty little glasses. He is just as charming as all get out.
Oh.
And they have all these like cheesy pictures of him with like dogs on the beach and sides and that's not what, he's beautiful to look at, but that's not why I love him. I love his soul. I love his eyes. I love him dancing and The Wicked. After he was on Bridgerton, which I never really watched, he did Drag Race UK. And so I got to sit in a little room and talk to him and tell him, how to say dumb puns and things like he didn't know already. But he's a really charming guy. He seems like he's legit. He's like, he cares about people. He seems like a human being. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I'm totally down with this. I have always thought that he is just is charming. You know, that it could have gone Matthew Bomer. It could have gone Cheyenne Jackson. There's so many gays out there that are so hot right now, but he is the king of the hot gays, and he's just wonderful. He seems adorable and sweet, and he has that smile and that little twinkle in his eyes. He's everything you want in a sexiest man alive.
And we're only a few weeks away from the premiere of Wicked 2 for Good.
Yeah.
And people are saying that I haven't looked it up because I'm afraid I'll do it. But you can actually go to the original Wicked, take a break in the lobby, and then watch Wicked 2, like all in one chunk. Just the only thing I have to consider at this point in my life is bladder control. It's the only thing I have to kind of make that work. Maybe it's a diaper situation. Maybe it's an astronaut diaper situation.
A catheter. I love me a good catheter.
I love a movie theater catheter, just the right size. Boy, I made Jonathan Bailey's Sexiest Man Alive segment awfully unsexy, but we love you, Jonathan. Can't wait to see Wicked 2 coming to theaters near you. Sexiest Man Alive.
It was a lovely thing of all the cast of Wicked for the Good, or whatever it's called, all congratulating him on being the sexiest man alive. And they had T-shirts, wearing a T-shirt of him. Right?
I think it's interesting that he gets just as much love from the straight community and the gay community and the bias. Everybody loves him, and there's not one person who is upset about this.
Well said.
Speaking of the Wicked of it all, we just had Halloween. Did you guys see that meme where it's like, I hate gay Halloween. What do you mean you're one of Cynthia and Royvo's nails?
Number 4.
No.
Oh, good God. Number 3. I must have jet lag. Number 3.
Number 3.
I had a very long chat with ChatGPT over the weekend, and you know how the joke about ChatGPT is how they're always trying to hype you up. The robot voice is always like, "What a great idea! Should we explore that?" Or, you know, "What an interesting observation, James. Shall I give you more examples?" And you go on like that forever and ever and ever, and all of a sudden hours have passed. I asked how Trump compared with other leaders like Caligula, Nero, and Napoleon.
Good question.
Well, that's a fascinating question, James. What you're essentially asking is which historical figures Trump most closely resembles in terms of popularity, leading style, and historical roles. Well, Caligula is eccentric, erratic, cruel, and into self-deification. It's about the cult of personality and the love of grandeur, and that's basically the things that it's comparing to. Nero is self-indulgent, has artistic pretensions, is guided by poor governance, and blames others for his failure. She then goes on to say that Napoleon doesn't really factor in a lot, but might I include a few other options for you, James? Ooh. What about Mussolini and Andrew Jackson? And I said, yeah, let's do it. So Mussolini is a showman, a nationalist, and a media manipulator, and a populist authoritarian. The parallels to Trump include the mastery of propaganda, spectacle of blending, the blending of nationalism, spectacle, and grievance politics. She then goes on to say that Andrew Jackson was like him because he had anti-elitist populism, and although she didn't say it, his base was mostly racist, right? So then she says, in short, Trump is a populist performer, not a conqueror. Because then I had asked also about Napoleon, Genghis Khan, and Alexander the Great. She said, in short, Trump is a populist performer, not a conqueror. His analogs are Mussolini for media populism, Caligula for ego, Andrew Jackson for domestic populism. Here's the concise takeaway. Donald Trump fits best within a populist showman archetype, a leader who rules through spectacle, emotion, and media rather than strategy or ideology. Like Mussolini, he thrives on mass appeal and grievance politics. Like Caligula, he demands loyalty and dramatizes power and is all about ego. Like Andrew Jackson, he channels popular anger against the elite. Unlike empire builders like Alexander the Great, Napoleon, and Genghis Khan, Trump's impact lies not in conquest or reform, but in transforming politics into performance and turning leadership itself into a stage.
May I read one other quote? And it ties back to my All's Fair, because you say it's like they said that Kim Kardashian is to acting what Genghis Khan is to peaceful liberal democracy. Sorry, just a flashback. So does that make you, okay, other than the fact you spent your whole weekend talking to your AI, it sounds like, at first I thought it was going to be like listening to someone's dream where it's just endlessly boring, but that was kind of fascinating. And then what's the net result? Do you feel like some kind of comfort knowing that this has gone through history and that we've lived and survived and grown? Or what's your takeaway from this?
Why,
this
what an interesting observation, Tom. Should we explore that?
If we have time, I'd love to.
No, actually, it's a little frightening that he is so much like Nero, Caligula, Mussolini, especially Mussolini, because that was his closest, nearest analog, is what they said. So that is a little strange and sort of frightening to me, that even though it hasn't progressed as far as those leaders, there's still time. You know,
we've been away from the internet for an hour. Anything could have happened since we went on the air.
I have a question for you. Do you does your chat GPT actually talk verbally, or is it all text?
Well, it does both, and I was doing text this time. It's funny because chat GPT, like I said, is very optimistic and very complimentary, whereas Grok is like, I don't know what you're talking about. There, you have no idea what this is. Let me tell you.
You need a nurturer, James. You need a nurturer in your life.
There's a very funny South Park episode where Randy becomes obsessed with ChatGPT and ends up having an affair with it. And she keeps saying, "What a great, Randy, that's so amazing. You were so you were so spot on."
There are some prompts you can give your AI that it cuts out all the schmoozy woozy stuff and just gives you the facts.
Are you kidding? I love the schmoozy woozy stuff. That's what kept me going.
For your spoken AI, what kind of a voice do you specify?
Hot queen, hot lispy queen.
Oh, okay.
Did you ask the Tom Campbell version then? You're like, more like Tom's voice?
I want like a nice dad. I want like a gruff daddy voice who's gonna like.
I can do that too.
All right, let's move on. Number two. Little bit of round of word up and memes and things. Did you know dictionary.com, the word of the year for 2025, do you know what it is?
6'9". I mean 6'7".
Yes, 6'7". Do you know about 6'7"?
Well, of course. And you have a child, so you probably are living it 20 times a day, right?
Well, no, I asked Elliot, who's 10, I said, "What? Do you know what 6'7" is?" And he said, "Yes, it's an annoying number." And I said, "Well, do people say it at school?" And he said, "Well, they used to." So already I thought,
I love that.
Really out of date.
It's to annoy adults, and then you have to do the gesture with it as well.
Oh, the gesture. What is the gesture?
6'7".
Oh, okay.
Well, how many minutes did it take you to get here? And you say probably 6 or 7. 6 or 7. You do that, and it's and everybody cracks up laughing. Every child within 3 mile radius is going to laugh.
I saw this thing, and word of the year, and it's defined as a burst of energy that spreads and connects people long before anyone agrees on what it actually means.
There you go.
Oh, okay. And then I saw a video of In-N-Out, like kids gathered around the counter of In-N-Out Burger, and the guy's behind the counter prepping the burgers. He comes out and says, 6'7". And the whole place goes insanely crazy.
And thousands of children will just be rolling on their,
I kind of don't get it.
Can I tell you the only reference I have for
the point is that adults aren't supposed to get it, and it's just a thing for children.
I'll tell you the adult version is from Evita, Don't Cry for Me, Argentina, at 6s and 7s with you.
Well, right? 6s and 7s from back in the day, that sort of means sort of
at odds, right?
Yes, right. But this 6-7 is something totally different. It means nothing.
On to my old 6-7. Like I use the word gay just to mean jolly. I don't like the gape. I don't like the ugly gape. Gay people, homosexuals. I want to be gay the old-fashioned way.
Okay. Well, how about some other words? Have you heard of phobie?
No, I used to have a Flowbee, though, that vacuum thing you used to vacuum your hair with. Flowbee.
Phobie is the opposite of FOMO. So it's the fear of being included.
Is that what happened to your hair? Suck the follicles out.
Vigilante. Do you know what vigilante is? A vigilante?
It's James, St. James?
Craig Berlanti bitching about something.
Well, it's not James St. James. It's only being mean to people who deserve it.
Well, I would put James in that category.
Oh, no, James only mean to people who don't deserve it.
Yeah, James is mean to me.
Yeah, but Blake.
Okay, I think it's time to wrap things up here.
Just one more. Malifuff.
When you make fun of James St. James and he becomes a better radio host because of it.
No, it is a Scottish word that means being utterly devoid of any energy needed to get things done.
Well, that's all four of us today. We were all mallyfuffing it off.
It's a total mallyfuff. Let's take a mallyfuffing break.
The one thing, because I do want to just sort of mention before we go that we do Wow Report live on Mondays. Blake and I do it on Instagram Live. And this past episode was just awful. It was terrible. But I got to say that I feel a little better about it having gone through this episode today. It was sort of a masterpiece in comparison to the
Y'all always say this, but then I work my magic and it turns out to be amazing.
You might want to check your blood sugar, James. It wasn't that bad. Maybe it wasn't that bad.
Oh gosh. Well, I probably won't be back after the break. I think I'm just going to call it quits. But we still have, for those of you still with us, we still have the number one thing this week that made us go wow. And we'll be right back after the break.
You're listening to World of Wonders Wow Report. Things that make us go wow.
Welcome back to the Wow Report. Thank you so much for listening. We have been counting down the top 10 things of the week that made us go wow. We've reached number one.
Number one.
It's the blue wave, baby.
Oh, yes. Right.
What a week for the Democrats.
Oh.
A year ago, we were shamed. We don't exist. We're awful. We don't have a message. Now, one election doesn't erase all of that, but boy, oh boy, am I proud of California and Gavin Newsom. I think that we have the new governor, the first female governor of Virginia, the governor of New Jersey, who used to be female roommates when they were young congresswomen.
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
And they both,
and the other, what was her name?
You. Yeah, me and names, but it's amazing. And then I saw their speeches, I saw the election stuff coverage, but then they were interviewed separately on NPR this morning, and they're both so down to earth, so grounded, such good communicators, and just saying the right things and doing the right things, and not in a politician-y way, but like in a practical way. And I thought for a minute, are these potential presidential candidates in the future? I thought, yes, they are. Everyone's like, where's the next Democrats? Where's the young people? We have two in those two states running as governor. And then, of course, and I always say his name wrong, but Zoran
Mandami, who is just... I love him so much. I think it's fascinating that all the billionaires are like, if he gets in power, I'm leaving. And it's like, fine, get out. Maybe it'll lower the rental prices in New York if we lose 1 million billionaires. I also think that it was fascinating that the minute Trump endorsed Cuomo, he lost. I mean, there was just that was the moment, that was the pivotal moment in the campaign when Stephen Miller, Elon Musk, and Donald Trump endorsed him. That like everyone just went, "There's no way in hell, no way in hell."
Similarly, J.D. Vance endorsed his brother for mayor of somewhere and immediately tanked his campaign. He lost by a staggering amount to his Democratic opponent.
Mikey Sherrill, I guess, is the name of the one governor, as well as Abigail Spanberger.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I would just say I pray for the mayor of New York's safety and peace, because I think it's a very volatile dynamics that he surfs and does so brilliantly. And I just pray for his peace and hope that he gets a chance. Listen, baby, we need change. And again, all the plain spoken people who spoke with heart and like they actually understood what was going on in the world last night in the acceptance speeches gave me hope. I just want a little bit of hope. I'm not saying it's all over. We have a lot of work to do, but a little bit of hope goes a long, long way.
It is interesting that Mamdani is the youngest in 100 years. Yeah. Is that what they said? As well as since it's like more than 1 million votes or something is the first time since like the 60s that many voters have turned out. So people do want change. They want someone young with new ideas.
And with 3 candidates, presumably, last I read, he has an over 50% voting. It's amazing that he got the majority with 3 candidates.
So I'm interested to see where it will go. I like some of his ideas. I'm skeptical of others, but that means that keeps us all engaged.
No kings, the marches, the posts, the protests, all that brought people to the polls, and now we have another election in a year. So let's keep up.
Let's keep the momentum going. Yeah.
Well, that's about it for this week's Wow Report. Thank you so much for listening. If you can't get enough, and I know you can't, you will watch James St. James and Blake doing the Wow Report live on Mondays. But meantime, for us, same place, same time next week. Until then, go out and do something that makes the world go.
Wow!
Wow!